It was a morning like any other along the serene shores of Somerton Beach, Adelaide, Australia, in December of 1948. The sun was climbing slowly over the horizon, seagulls circled lazily in the sky, and waves lapped gently at the sand. But the calm was shattered by a discovery that would baffle investigators for decades. A man lying lifeless, perfectly dressed in a suit, yet dead under circumstances no one could explain. No one knew who he was, and the more authorities dug into the case, the stranger it became. This is the story of the Somerton Man, a tale that blends mystery, espionage, and perhaps a brush with the supernatural. The man was discovered lying on the sand, head propped against the seawall, eyes closed, with his arms resting calmly by his side. At first glance, nothing seemed immediately alarming. He wasn't disheveled, there were no visible wounds, and his clothing was immaculate. But the horror of the situation wasn't in what you could see, it was in what you couldn't. He carried no identification, no wallet, no letters, no tickets, nothing to hint at his name, his past, or why he was there. And that's when the case began to take its chilling shape. Forensic analysis revealed strange details. The man appeared to have died of poisoning, but no trace of any known toxin was found in his body. He had not been involved in a struggle, and his clothing bore labels that had been meticulously removed. Every bit of evidence seemed to have been deliberately erased, as if someone or something had taken care to ensure he would remain untraceable. And then, the most perplexing clue emerged. Tucked into a hidden pocket of his trousers was a tiny scrap of paper. On it were the words, Tamám Shud. The words, meaning ended or finished in Persian, were torn from the final page of a rare copy of the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. It was a cryptic message that seemed almost like a final, ominous farewell. The discovery of this note triggered a chain of events that only deepened the mystery. Authorities scoured local libraries and secondhand bookstores to find a matching copy of the book. Weeks later, a man stumbled upon a worn copy in the glove compartment of an abandoned car near Adelaide. Inside, some pages were torn, one of which matched the scrap found on the Somerton Man. Even more disturbing were the lines of code scrawled in pencil on the back cover, unintelligible letters arranged in what appeared to be a cipher. No one could crack it. Cryptographers, police, amateur codebreakers, all failed. It was as if the Somerton Man carried secrets too dangerous to reveal. Even the autopsy offered more questions than answers. The man was estimated to be in his mid-40s, in good health, with no significant injuries. His heart, lungs, and organs showed nothing out of the ordinary. The poisoning theory suggested something exotic, a rare substance designed to leave no trace. But in 1948, the technology for such undetectable toxins was the stuff of espionage nightmares, almost like something out of a spy novel or a horror story. And this is where the darkness starts to creep in. Who was he? Was he a spy? Or was he a victim of something far stranger, something we might never understand? The intrigue deepened when investigators found a woman connected to the mystery, Jessica Thompson, whose phone number was mysteriously found in the back of the Rubaiyat copy. She lived a quiet life in Adelaide and claimed never to have seen the Somerton Man. Yet she insisted that his photograph resembled someone she had known, someone whose name she could not disclose. Her story added a new layer of unease. Some whispered of clandestine affairs, shadowy organizations, and secrets that would be lethal if revealed. The Somerton Man had arrived on that beach carrying a darkness that would remain unsolved for decades. But the more the case was examined, the more the horror seemed to lurk in the mundane. How could someone live a life so perfectly erased? Every label removed, every identifier gone, every trace of their existence wiped from history. It is a concept that chills the imagination. It's not the sight of blood or violence that terrifies here, but the notion of absolute disappearance, of being erased from the world while leaving behind cryptic clues as if taunting those left behind. In the decades since, the Somerton Man has inspired theories both rational and wildly speculative. Some believe he was a spy caught in the crossfire of Cold War intrigue, poisoned to silence him. Others suggest a love affair gone horribly wrong, a personal vendetta played out in secret. And yet others whisper darker possibilities, experiments, untraceable toxins, or even something more sinister, something that defies the laws of human understanding. Every clue, every discovery only seems to deepen the darkness, leaving us to confront a truth we might never face. Some mysteries are meant to remain unsolved, and some deaths are meant to haunt the living indefinitely. Modern technology has offered new hope. In 2022, a DNA analysis attempted to uncover his origins. A man in the United States, distant relatives, and obscure familial connections surfaced, but no one could definitively identify him. Even with genetic testing, the man remains, in many ways, nameless. A shadow cast across time, a ghost walking among us, known only by a phrase in an ancient poem, Tamám Shud. The horror of this case lies not only in his death, but in his erasure, his complete disappearance from every ledger, every record, every memory. It is the ultimate undoing of a human existence, a life concluded with precision, leaving nothing but cryptic remnants to puzzle the living. And as night falls over Somerton Beach, imagine the quiet stretch of sand where he was found. The waves lap with deceptive calm. The wind whispers through the grasses along the dunes, carrying a message no one alive can fully decipher. It is a place where time seems to stand still, where the boundary between life and death blurs, and where one man's story remains a chilling testament to secrets too dangerous to reveal. The Somerton Man is more than a mystery. He is a reminder that some truths are hidden and some endings are final, marked by a phrase that echoes through decades. Tamám Shud, finished, ended, gone. So who was he? Was it a secret mission gone wrong? A crime so carefully executed, no trace could remain? Or was it the work of something even more unfathomable, a force that simply erased him from the world? Theories abound, but the truth eludes us. And maybe that is the real terror of the Somerton Man. Not the method of his death, not the note, not even the unsolved code, but the chilling realization that a person can vanish entirely, leaving the world with nothing but questions and a haunting phrase written in Persian, Tamám Shud. If you ever walk along Somerton Beach at sunrise, pause and imagine the Somerton Man lying there silently among the sand and sea. Imagine the mystery that has endured for more than 70 years, the cryptic message that defies explanation, and the life that was erased so completely that even today, we cannot name him. The horror is not just in death itself, it's in being forgotten, in leaving no mark, in becoming a puzzle that the world cannot solve. And perhaps in the quietest hours, when the waves crash just right, you might hear the echo of a life that ended with a phrase that still chills the soul. Tamám Shud. The Somerton Man will never return, but his story lingers, whispering to those willing to listen. And every time you consider a mystery unsolved, remember him, the man with no name, the note torn from a poem, the code that cannot be cracked, the chilling, perfect disappearance. He is a ghost of the past, a shadow that reminds us how fragile identity truly is. And in the silence of the sand and sea, the horror of that erasure remains, waiting for the next curious soul to stumble upon the chilling story of the man who vanished without a trace. If this story has haunted you, don't let it fade into the background like so many mysteries do. Share it, discuss it, and keep the memory of the Somerton Man alive. Because some horrors, like some secrets, are too compelling to be forgotten.